Tough day for us out there today. Very tough matchup. Give Missouri credit. They beat us in all three phases of the game. It's a very good football team. It was very tough for us to match up. Defensively, you know, I thought we had some decent stops. We had an opportunity on several others, and they made the play on third down. We didn't. Offensively, we did good things at times. We didn't do it at the right moments. I think early on, it would have been nice to move it a little bit better there when we had good field position after we were up 3 and got the turnover. I thought that possession hurt. You know, we need to do a better job in that situation. But overall, very tough night. Give them credit. They outplayed us in all areas, and we need to improve.
Mark, we saw you seem like sort of blow your top a few times today. Is just sort of the frustration of this whole thing sort of all coming down? It is.
It's frustrating. I got to, you know, do a better job. You know, that's it. You know, and it is what it is, and it's a tough situation. I'm trying to fight and claw and help lead this team as best I can. It is frustrating at times, but we all need to do a better job, and we need to overcome adversity. There's going to be bad plays, there's going to be adversity, and we all got to handle it better.
Do you feel like you're still seeing that fight from your players to the level that you want?
Pardon me?
Are you still seeing that level of fight from your guys that you want to see?
Well, you know, no, it wasn't our great effort by us tonight. It wasn't. It wasn't good enough. But you know, the late round, everybody's going to say we gave up. That's not true. We just simply outplayed. You know, somebody went to the wrong gap, and the pre was coming down to play the run and went outside the will, and it creased us right up in there. We had 2 guys there to make the play. It just, again, it's technique. You know, he goes outside of the block instead of under it, and the free safety gets cut off, and he pops it for a long run. So the guys weren't laying down there. We just need to execute better.
Mark, you talked about earlier about guys kind of learn to play through pain and do things. You kind of feel like it looked like Whitlow was doing that today.
I did notice that, and early on, I thought he had some very tough runs against a tough physical defense, and it was nice. You could tell he was hurting, and you know, again, I think he's learning to compete. And I thought he did some good things, and he led our team good. You know, we need to improve. We need to hit some open guys better, but we need to play better around them and all those things. So,
Mark, can you talk about Landon Foster? What happened on those punts?
Yeah, I mean, we just the one that was the shank. I mean, he just shanked it. You know, he's been pretty steady here for a couple years. He just shanked that, and there's no excuse for that. And I thought that was very critical as well. I thought we had a chance. We had a big run, and we held them. And you know, we bring that back, and then we shank the punt, and they go in and score. You know, that was critical. And those are things we've got to overcome. You know, and then we got the one block that wasn't his fault. I mean, they just came clean on him.
Coach, first drive of the game, you march all the way downfield, get a field goal. First drive of the second half, you march all the way downfield as well. What's different about coming out of the locker room with those first drives?
Well, I think, you know, guys were, you know, we made it a point at halftime. You know, we didn't feel like, you know, you asked me the question earlier. I thought we started stronger. You know, we have a chance there early to get ahead and to build a lead and to be in that. And then I thought, you know, the second quarter got away from us quick. And, you know, so we addressed that at halftime, and the guys came out with the right attitude and moved it down there and scored. So that was positive.
Did you destroy anything in the locker room?
No. We'll be. I mean, you know, we'll get it. We'll get it done. Believe me, it's hard. It's frustrating, but we're going to keep on going to work and getting better every day. And this team is showing signs we're not nearly as consistent as we need to be. You're playing a top 10 team that's grown up an awful lot themselves, and you know, they had some wideouts that we couldn't match up with, quite frankly, and that wasn't a good matchup for us. He was Green Beckman was the #1 player in the country a couple years ago, right? You know, and he's a beast. They're big, and they have great balance, and they put you in a real bind. I thought, like I said, I thought we had, you know, some chances at some stops on third down. They made some good plays.
In the second half, when it looked like you might make it a little more interesting, Raymond has a fumble, and then they have the long kickoff return.
Yeah.
Is that just more of the execution issues you've been talking about all season, or is
just, you know, we're not making the play. I mean, we make a play. I thought Neal had it was set up perfectly. We had some runs off that same action. We had a nice, beautiful play action pass set up. We get out to the 40 after we had just moved it. I mean, what do you know, he's got to hold on to the ball. I mean, That's it.
In the second quarter, I thought their defensive line really dominated you guys in the trenches. Did you think so?
Pardon me?
I thought their defensive line in the second quarter really dominated you.
Well, they did. They overwhelmed us at times, and the pressures got to us. And but yeah, I mean they did. I mean we got to do a better job of picking up the pressure, and they overwhelmed us at times, and we've got to be one step ahead of them right there as well, and keep them off balance with some of the other things. I think we heard them on some screens later. Obviously, we could have timed some things up better in that second quarter.
Have you found that to be maybe obviously you talk about skill on the outside, but have you found that the trenches, the matchups up front to be the biggest thing about finding a way to compete in this league, a league that's so brutal?
It is. I mean, I think they're a good example of that. That this is a mature football team now, and I think watching them play last year and watching them play this year, it's a big difference. And they got some guys outside that are very difficult to match up with, and they're physical. They're inside guys. O-line, D-line is grown up, and they're big and physical, and they're playing extremely hard. So they've done a nice job.
I know how you keep talking about how it was a mismatch with the receivers, and you're all secondary, but was your secondary doing anything to make it easier for them?
Well, I thought no. I mean, we were trying to get up there and play tight coverage, and we didn't play it very well. We were mixing some things up with 3-4 early, and it was good, but they spread you out. I mean, you see them. I mean, they're all over the field. If you want to play two safeties high, they're going to run it all over you. You want to play one safety high, you got to win. And we didn't win. It's that simple.
Mark, when your quarterback hangs in there on a day when he is kind of hurting, does that increase his leadership value for the rest of the team?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, it does.
Coach, every week you run into a new coach. Is this league as good as advertised coaching-wise? Are these teams as well coached as you thought they'd be?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. They're a very well-coached team, and like I said, I think the big difference is they've got some players now. You know what I mean? Between this year and last year, they've got guys have grown up and gotten more physical, and quarterback play has been outstanding. So they're tough.
Mark, you talk about the frustration and so forth. And, I mean, you were coming from a program where you lost just a handful of games, and you knew what you were getting into here. But how do you keep that frustration from bubbling over when you're losing game after game?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, you just got to go back to work, and you got to stick to what I preach all the time, and that's getting better. I got to get these guys up. We got to get them mentally prepared to practice on Monday and to prepare and to go out there and compete and try to win a game. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to work and stick to the things that I feel are necessary to help build this program. And I may get frustrated, but I'm not discouraged.
Mark, you kind of file that way. You talk about Missouri has grown up so much from last year to this year. You kind of file that way for your own team that they're growing up.
I hope so. I think so. I think I know guys are working hard and doing the right things. We need to do things better in all areas. I always take responsibility. Starts with myself and the coaching staff, and on to the players. We all need to do better.
Mark, they hurt you on a couple of the long returns. Is that them being good, or did you guys break down? Could you tell?
Yeah, we need to do some things better. We guys have been solid all year, and wasn't a good game for us to break down the special teams area.
Okay, I know you still got obviously 3 games to go. But is anything going through the league change your thinking about what you need personnel-wise or any other way? Has it changed your thinking?
Well, I think there's so many areas that we need to improve, so I think that's our focus, is really improve in all areas. I mean, we need playmaking ability. We need big physical guys. We need a lot of things. We need linebackers. You got to have a secondary. The matchups are so difficult. You play a team like this that spreads you out all over the place with extremely talented wide receivers, and then you may go play, we get to play Alabama and all the rest, and on the road next year at LSU, and then you got to be physical as heck. So you need a lot of bodies. You need a lot of good players, and you need some guys that are versatile.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.